There is something that does not fully align in how this image is being built, and Rabbit News Hallyu is tracking a very specific escalation pattern that feels unusually fast for a single actor's public identity. Rabbit News Hallyu is looking at a strange convergence. A fan-generated label is not staying inside fandom anymore, it is being echoed across corporate language, studio framing, and even a high-level forum stage within a compressed timeline that is rarely this synchronized. Before we break it down, one question lingers in the background: how does a casual online nickname start behaving like an institutional narrative? On June 13, 2026, actor Zhang Linghe appeared at the 18th Straits Forum in Xiamen and delivered an approximately 6-minute speech without notes, a detail that immediately becomes important not because of performance alone, but because of what surrounds it. He was presented in a structured, formal image, grey Zhongshan-style suit, controlled posture, measured tone, while speaking on cross-strait youth exchange, personal transition, and cultural continuity. What makes this moment stand out is not a single speech, but the accumulation of signals around it: a fandom-originated identity label, system boyfriend, now circulating alongside institutional environments that traditionally do not rely on entertainment-derived framing. The label itself did not originate from official channels. It began as a fan shorthand describing a combination of traits: technical education background, disciplined demeanor, formal aesthetics, and perceived stability in public behavior. Zhang Linghe's academic path, electrical engineering and automation at Nanjing Normal University, has repeatedly been referenced in media discussions as an unusual foundation within the entertainment industry. In his speech, he revisited this directly, reflecting on how he once envisioned working in the power sector, dealing with blueprints, calculations, and technical systems. This detail is important because it anchors his narrative in a non-entertainment origin story, one that audiences tend to associate with structure, logic, and institutional environments. Now here is where the first structural shift appears. Around late 2025, the Jiangsu power-related public account reportedly acknowledged him in positive terms, framing him as intellectually capable in connection with his engineering background. Whether symbolic or informal, this type of mention is not typical for entertainment figures and begins to blur the boundary between fan interpretation and institutional recognition. It does not confirm a formal role, but it does amplify the perception that his identity narrative is being validated outside entertainment circles. Then comes the second layer: production studio framing. Around the same period, Zhang Linghe Studio released rehearsal visuals and captions emphasizing themes like crossing mountains and seas and shared cultural heritage. The phrasing is important because it shifts his image from purely aesthetic branding into a culturally positioned narrative actor. In other words, the studio is no longer just promoting a celebrity appearance, it is aligning him with a broader cultural discourse structure. And then the third layer arrives: the Straits Forum stage itself. At the forum, Zhang Linghe structured his speech around crossing as a repeated conceptual thread: crossing industries, crossing regions, crossing perspectives. He referenced his shift from engineering to acting, describing it as a conscious transition requiring early courage. He also discussed participation in the documentary Carbon Neutral Future, describing on-site exposure to offshore wind farms, pumped storage facilities, and large-scale energy infrastructure projects in Jiangsu. These references matter because they are not typical entertainment talking points, they are grounded in industrial systems language, energy transition, infrastructure, field observation. From an insider perspective, what becomes noticeable is not the content alone, but the stacking of context, engineering identity, industrial exposure, and cultural messaging, all positioned inside a politically and socially symbolic forum. This is where Rabbit News Hallyu identifies the unusual pattern, not contradiction in the speech itself, but the speed at which different narrative systems are aligning around one individual. Psychologically, this creates a layered public perception. On one level, fans interpret him through aesthetic stability, tall frame, formal suit styling, restrained public demeanor. On another level, institutional language begins to reinforce seriousness and credibility. And on a third level, the industry benefits from a narrative that feels multidimensional rather than purely entertainment-driven. This is where the system boyfriend label evolves from fan humor into something closer to a semi-official storytelling device. What is particularly notable is how behavior and micro-signals are being reinterpreted. Actions such as speaking without notes, maintaining composed posture during formal events, or referencing technical fields are not new behaviors in themselves. However, in the current media environment, these signals are being aggregated into a coherent identity narrative. In branding terms, this is called narrative compression, multiple unrelated traits being packaged into a single readable archetype. From an agency and media strategy perspective, this is efficient. A single archetype reduces cognitive load for audiences. Instead of interpreting a celebrity as fragmented roles, actor, model, speaker, guest, they become one stable symbolic figure. But efficiency comes with risk. Once an archetype becomes too stable, any deviation later can feel disproportionately significant. The twist here is not that Zhang Linghe is changing, but that the ecosystem around him is converging too neatly. Fan language, studio messaging, and institutional stage framing are beginning to echo each other. That echo effect is what creates the impression of acceleration. There is also a cultural layer that cannot be ignored. His speech repeatedly emphasized cross-strait youth exchange, cultural shared roots, and participation in collaborative production environments. He referenced television works involving cross-regional production teams and highlighted shared cultural aesthetics. Whether one interprets this as soft diplomacy, cultural messaging, or standard forum content, it places him inside a narrative space that extends beyond entertainment consumption. At the same time, online discourse reflects a different angle: comparisons, polls, and personality-driven discussions framing him as an idealized partner archetype. This dual-track perception, cultural participant versus aesthetic ideal, creates tension in audience interpretation. It is precisely this tension that fuels virality. People are not just watching him, they are trying to categorize what he represents. The broader industry implication is subtle but important. When entertainment figures begin to appear in structured cultural or institutional environments, their branding is no longer controlled solely by entertainment cycles. It becomes partially shaped by external narrative systems, media institutions, event frameworks, and public discourse structures that operate on different logic than fandom engagement. So the question is not whether the label system boyfriend is accurate or not. The more relevant question is why multiple systems are now reinforcing a similar image at the same time, and whether that convergence is organic, strategic, or simply a byproduct of modern media amplification. And this is where Rabbit News Hallyu leaves the interpretation open, because once a personal narrative becomes synchronized across fandom, industry, and institutional space, it stops being just a celebrity profile and starts behaving like a cultural signal. The next appearance will matter less for what is said, and more for which system echoes it. Rabbit News Hallyu will continue tracking how these overlapping narrative layers evolve, because in today's entertainment ecosystem, the most important story is often not the event itself, but the alignment happening around it.